Hey guys, today I'm here with the Rough Country inner fenders fitting all 2007 to 2018 JK Wranglers. So if you've upgraded to aftermarket fender flares or you're just looking for something more durable, these inner fenders by Rough Country are going to be right up your alley. This is going to replace those cheap plastic inner fender liners with something that you can actually trust to hold up. So these are going to protect the side of your engine bay as well as your wheel wells from any dirt or debris that may kick up on the road, made of a durable steel construction. These are also going to look a lot more aggressive with a black powder coat finish, obviously protecting that steel underneath, and they're also going to be a modular design with some riveted accenting. You're also going to have a back plating on there with a little bit of Rough Country branding. So these are going to be very affordable, and they're going to come with all four in a kit at roughly $350. So other more expensive options on the page that you may be taking a look at may just have a little bit more to their design. So they may have integrated rock lighting, they may have vents on the here for heat dissipation, or they may just be made by premium brands. Nonetheless, this is going to come with all four inner fender liners in a kit, as to where a lot of other options are only going to come with the front two. These are also going to be a lot more solid than some others that I've seen, and they're going to be a very affordable, making this a great deal. So install is going to be a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. There is a little bit of drilling required. You are going to need some basic hand tools as well as about 4 hours worth of your time. So speaking of the install, let's jump into that now. The tools that I used for my install were a cutoff wheel, safety glasses, PB blaster or any other lubricant, snips, a drill, 13mm ratcheting wrench, 13mm box or open-ended wrench, a flathead screwdriver, 3/8 inch drive and 1/4 inch drive ratchet, 4mm and 5mm Allen key, a 13mm socket, a 10mm deep socket, a 1/2 inch drill bit, a 5/16 inch drill bit, and a 1/4 inch drill bit. So before we go ahead and install our inner fender liners, we do have to put them together. I would recommend staging all of your hardware and making sure that all of the right pieces are on the table for the correct side. So I'm working with the driver's side. We're going to go ahead and install our backing plate first. This is only going to orient in one way. Then we can grab our provided button head bolts and attach them to our front piece with that nylon lock nut. So this is going to come pre-painted. It's not going to come in like a brushed or bare finish. So you can keep it like this, or you can customize it to whatever color scheme you have on your Wrangler. So once you have your hardware attached, we can take a 4mm Allen key on the bolt head side and a 10mm deep socket and go ahead and tighten these down. So what we can do next is attach our clips. This is how the two pieces are going to be attached together. So you're going to have 2 on this middle piece here. Those are just going to slide right on into place. And then our back piece, we can slide 4 on the one side and then 3 on the other. So you will have 2 different size threads on the clip. The bigger thread is going to go on these 3 outside holes. This is going to bolt through our fender and into our inner liner. So you want to make sure that the bigger ones are on the outside here. So after all of our clips are on, we can go ahead and bolt our front piece and our middle piece together and then head over to the Jeep. So we're going to take our smaller provided hardware and loosely thread that in. So I'm just using my 4mm Allen key just to snug these up. So once those are snugged up, we can head over to our Wrangler. So now that we're over at the Jeep, our next step is to remove the 3 rear bolts that are holding on your fender. Now, it will depend on what kind of hardware that you have, the tools that you're gonna use. I'm gonna use a 13mm socket and a 13mm wrench to remove these last 3 bolts. So because this fender's rolled in, I'm just going to switch over to 13mm wrench and a 13mm ratchet wrench. Like I said, it will depend on what hardware that you have in your Wrangler and what aftermarket fender flares that you have. So what we can do now is take our rear piece of our inner fender liner and stick it behind where we just removed those bolts. Then we can take our larger button head bolts and bolt that in place. So what we can do next is install the main part of our inner fender liner. We're going to pop this into place, line it up with the holes in our body, and just to make sure this stays in place while we bolt everything up, we're going to take one of our provided bolts and thread that into factory location right up at the top of the spring perch. So now that's held in place, we can take the rest of our hardware and line it up and bolt it in. So there's going to be a number of clips where your inner fender liner as well as your factory fender were bolted onto previously, and that's where we're going to install our hardware. So there's going to be a couple of clips on that inner fender. Now just to get everything to line up with our back piece, what I'm going to do is just snug those up with a 4mm Allen key. So you may have to loosen up these middle bolts in order to kind of adjust it and move this center portion back or forth to get these back ones to line up. So once you have all of your bolts threaded in, we can just go back with that 4mm Allen key and tighten everything up. So what we have to do next is attach the bottom corner to the body of our Wrangler. Now, we do have to drill a hole. I'm gonna use a 5/16 inch drill bit, push the inner fender liner up so it's flat on the body, and use our hole as a guide. So after you've drilled your hole, you can take your last clip, put that on the body of the Wrangler. So we can take our last Allen bolt, thread that in, and we can go ahead and tighten that down with our 4mm Allen key. So after your last bolt in the front is tightened down, you're all set for the front, and then we can head on to the rear. So just like the front, we do have to put the rear together. First, we're gonna put on our spring clips. So you're gonna have 9 spring clips. We're going to put 6 on this centerpiece, and then we're gonna save 3 for the body of our Wrangler. So once all of your spring clips are on, we can attach our rearmost portion with our center portion and then leave our front piece aside so we can attach that in just a bit. So we're gonna place this back piece over our middle piece and take our button head bolts, our Allen head bolts, and thread those in to our spring clips. So we don't want to tighten anything down yet. Just want to make sure that these are hand tight because we may have to do some adjustments while it's on our Jeep. So now that we're over at the Jeep, we do need to drill out 3 holes in order to attach our inner fender liner. We are going to attach spring clips to this hole, 1 on the back here and then 1 on the far side, but we do need to drill them out with a 1/2 inch drill bit. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and start with this one. Also, on the driver's side, your gas line, your filler neck, is right behind here. You need to be extremely careful that you're not drilling into this. You can even put something in between here to make sure that you're not drilling into that, or you can just be incredibly careful. So now we can drill the hole that's in the front of our wheel well. We're gonna take that same 1/2 inch drill bit and drill that through. Now we're gonna drill out this last hole. Like I mentioned, take your time, be very careful. Your filler neck is right here. So before we go ahead and attach our clips, we do need to trim this back piece here. Our clip is not long enough to actually sit correctly in this hole, so we will need to do a little bit of trimming. You may be able to see a line. I marked where we have to cut, so I'm gonna take my cutoff wheel and just trim that down. Also, your filler neck is right there as well. We still are in the area of that, so just be very careful. So now we can attach our spring clips. So I'm just using a flathead screwdriver just to position these, because after you drill, there is going to be a little edge on the back, so it may not want to sit completely flat. You can just take flathead screwdriver in wiggle that into place. So with your hardware nearby, we're just going to set this into place. So we're just going to loosely bolt this into where we drilled our holes and attached our spring clips. So now we can attach our front piece. This is going to line up with our spring clips on our centerpiece. You may have to kind of press this in place. So we don't want to tighten anything down just yet, but we do want to snug these up. So I'm taking my 4mm Allen key and just snugging up those bolts. So we will need to drill out a hole on our last attachment point. This is going to be at the back end of your inner fender liner. I'm going to take a 1/4 inch drill bit and drill that out. So now we can take our hardware that is similar to the rest of our hardware and a flat washer and a nylon lock nut and bolt that through. So now we can go ahead and attach our gasket. This is going to go along the top edge to prevent it from rattling, and I do really like to see that out of this kit because a lot of kits do not include this. And that's why we're not tightening anything down yet. We need to pull this a little bit forward in order to attach to this gasket. Just as we move along, we're just going to peel back that 3M tape, slide this over the edge. So you may have to tighten down this top bolt as well just to bring these two pieces together. So now we can just go back and tighten everything down with our 4mm Allen key, and I'm also using a 3/8 inch drive ratchet. Now we can tighten down this last bolt with a 4mm Allen key and a 10mm socket for the other side. After that's tightened down, we can repeat that process on the other side and you're all set to go. That's gonna wrap it up for my review and install. Make sure you like and subscribe, and for more videos like this, always keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.